Okay, here we are with another pump installation video. So we've got a couple deficiencies noted right away. Bunch of street elbows for the manifold. No reason to have street elbows when you could have a sweep elbow there. Single union ball valves look okay. The glue and primer job here is abysmal. I'm guessing it looks like somebody came after the fact and painted all these joints on the outside with glue, which will not work. Absolutely not how you fix a leak. I don't even know if they were leaking. Maybe they were just done that bad to begin with. I'm not sure, but obviously that's just a travesty. That's not what it's supposed to look like at all. What do we got here? Duct tape and makeshift couplings, repair couplings people have epoxied in place. Wouldn't surprise me at all if this pump has a little bit of problems with suction. Probably doesn't run with a full chamber of water as a result. We've got a Super 2 pump here, matched with, looks to be about a 24-inch sand filter. 63 gallon per minute is the maximum design flow rate for this filter here. It's very likely that this Super 2 pump is exceeding that maximum design flow rate. The 1.5-inch line is going to be a flow restriction, but this pump is a high head application pump and it really drives a lot of water. It's really made for lifts to solar on the roof or attached hot tub booster jets. This pool, although big, doesn't have any of that. Going up to the filter here, you can see she's seen better days. Basically what's happened here is there's extensive leaking. This white here is epoxy, where somebody's epoxied this nut. This to me is a safety issue. This filter should not be operated. All the white staining here is an indication of prolonged leaking. That's pretty aggressive staining. It's very likely that this filter head was just never tight enough. Could be that the gasket is slightly displaced or flattened or has sand in it, or it could be that when this was tightened up, once you tighten it to the maximum you can get hand tight, you need to go around and tap this band clamp with your mallet, and that's going to allow you to get a couple more turns out of this, and that probably would have stopped this leak. Epoxy is never the way to fix this. Pretty much a problem with any swimming pool system. Here we got more epoxy all over the place. I feel like pool guys should have to pay a surcharge anytime they open a tube of epoxy. Okay, so when a filter turns on, this system's going to run at maximum normal operating pressure is 30 psi. This entire filter tank swells. If you had your hand on it, when it turns on, you can feel the whole tank swell. And, a 24-inch diameter vessel at 30 psi, if that were to ever blow apart, it would also blow apart whoever was standing in front of it. So something like that. If your pool looks like that, get it fixed. Do not operate that. Okay, so we're coming into the filter here. We've just got kind of this free air Spa-Flex tight bent into a street elbow into the CPVC nipples that come with the heater. I hate this stuff. Some rigid pipe would go a long way here, or even better if you had to 45 and then 45 instead of a street elbow into a tight bend Spa-Flex. Just poor. What do we got? Nature 2, colloidal system, injection system, inline Hayward chlorinator. Here's another big pet peeve of mine. So you got that line there, straight into the heater. Sure, the flow is going in this direction, out, but if you ever turn off your system, which you do all the time, and even if you don't sometimes, you can end up with concentrated chlorine damage. Basically, the outlet side of this heater is going to rot out. If you buy a new heater and you install it like this with a saltwater chlorinator cell, or if you have a chlorine injection feeder like this, Hayward's or Pentair or Jandy or Raypak, none of them are going to cover your warranty. That's not how you install it. You have to prevent that chlorine from tracking backwards, because it will absolutely destroy the heater. That's why the chlorine system is always supposed to be the very last thing before the water returns to the pool. It's well known that the chlorine is going to damage the heater, and the problem is that a lot of people think because this is downhill, it's not going to track backwards. But this is a closed loop plumbing system, and if you turn off that system, the water can just fully cycle backwards. I've seen that happen. I've seen it pull against gravity. There's all sorts of stuff that can happen, but you can guarantee that a chlorinator setup like this is going to reduce the longevity of this heater. Actually, even in talking about that, I can see a bunch of staining coming down from the header there. Wouldn't surprise me at all if this already has damage. If I had more time, I'd go and pull the return eyeballs out on the pool, and I bet you they're all orange and brown from the metals corroding in this heater. Okay, so that's another pump installation video. You know, is all of this stuff expressly wrong? Well, considering there is no code in most of the areas of North America for how to install this stuff, you can't say it's wrong, but you could certainly make the argument that there are some things that could be better, and that's what these videos are about.